The Galactic Council's first contact team arrived on Earth with all the ceremony befitting what they believed to be a primitive species initiation into interstellar society. Their crystalline vessels descended through Earth's atmosphere in a deliberately slow display, designed to avoid frightening what they assumed were simple beings just beginning to grasp the concept of space travel. Ambassador Xylix, their lead diplomat, had overseen dozens of first contact scenarios. The procedure was always the same: arrive with overwhelming technological superiority, demonstrate benevolent intentions, then gradually shepherd the developing species into galactic civilization. As their ship touched down in the designated landing zone outside Geneva, Xylix felt the familiar sense of satisfaction. Another species to guide, another civilization to mentor. They couldn't have been more wrong. Deep beneath the Himalayas, in a facility that didn't exist on any official record, Director Reese Harrison watched the landing through quantum-encrypted feeds. Around her, the Strategic Response Division's command center hummed with activity. Analysts processed data streams, defensive systems remained on silent alert, and the most sophisticated surveillance network humanity had ever created tracked every movement of their extraterrestrial visitors. "They're following standard first contact protocols," reported Dr. Ishani Sharma, head of xenopsychology. Her holographic presence flickered slightly as she connected from her own hidden facility in the Mariana Trench. Every gesture, every movement is designed to appear non-threatening to what they perceive as a technologically inferior species. Harrison allowed herself a small smile. Then our preliminary analysis was correct. They categorize civilizations primarily by their visible technological advancement. Confirmed, another voice joined the conversation. Professor James Coffey's avatar materialized, his research team in the Sahara already processing data from the aliens' energy signatures. Their ships are broadcasting on frequencies they believe we can't detect. They're discussing how to handle our primitive nuclear technology. The irony wasn't lost on anyone present. While the Galactic Council's representatives prepared to explain basic principles of interstellar travel to humanity, they were being scanned by technology centuries beyond their understanding. Every movement, every energy signature, every biological process was being mapped and analyzed by systems that shouldn't exist for another millennium according to their development scales. On the surface, humanity played its role perfectly. World leaders expressed appropriate awe at the aliens' technology. Scientists asked carefully crafted, naive questions about space travel. Military officials demonstrated what appeared to be nervous concern about their conventional forces' inadequacy. Meanwhile, in facilities hidden across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity's true capabilities continued to evolve. Quantum computers processed the aliens' every weakness, biological samples collected through nanoscale surveillance revealed potential vulnerabilities, and prototype weapon systems were refined based on real-world data. The Council believes they're being generous by sharing their advanced medical technology, Dr. Sharma reported during one of their secure briefings. They have no idea that we mapped their entire biological structure within hours of their arrival. Their cellular architecture has vulnerabilities they've never even considered. Harrison reviewed the latest reports from their global network. The Council's representatives were methodically documenting what they saw as humanity's technological limitations. Their reports, intercepted and decoded almost instantly, painted a picture of a species barely understanding the principles of space travel. They're recommending a standard integration protocol, Professor Coffey noted. 5 years of basic technological assistance before even considering military technology sharing. They think they're being cautious. Maintain the deception, Harrison ordered. Let them think they're dealing with an eager but primitive species. Every moment they spend underestimating us is another moment we have to prepare. In orbit, Council ships continued their regular patrols, never detecting the quantum-shielded satellites tracking their every move. In their landing zones, they conducted what they thought were thorough scans, missing the microscopic sensors woven into the very soil beneath their feet. In diplomatic meetings, they spoke carefully and simply, never realizing their hosts were analyzing technologies they weren't supposed to reveal for centuries. As the first month of contact drew to a close, Ambassador Xylix sent their regular report to the Galactic Council. Species shows promising development potential. Currently at early space exploration stage. Recommend standard integration protocol with basic technological assistance package. In her command center, Director Harrison read the intercepted transmission and allowed herself another smile. Phase 1 was proceeding exactly as planned. The galaxy's most advanced civilization had just unknowingly handed their greatest rival all the time they needed to prepare. 6 months into Earth's integration into galactic society, the diplomatic dance, as Harrison's team had dubbed it, was proceeding with clockwork precision. Every week, Council mentors arrived at research facilities around the globe to provide what they considered basic scientific education. Every week, humanity's carefully orchestrated performance convinced them of their superiority. At the Sydney Technological Institute, Dr. Nathan Rodriguez demonstrated what appeared to be a struggling attempt to understand Council propulsion systems. His team of researchers asked carefully crafted questions, each designed to reveal more about the aliens' technology than their answers were supposed to provide. Fascinating, Rodriguez would say, his expression a perfect mask of wonder as Council Engineer ZYX-427 explained basic principles of antimatter containment. But I'm confused about the particle alignment process. Could you show us again? Each demonstration was recorded by quantum sensors embedded at the molecular level in the very walls of the facility. Every gesture, every casual reference, every offhand comment was analyzed for hidden insights into Council technology. The aliens never suspected that their students' apparent confusion was a carefully choreographed performance. In the Atacama Desert, what the Council believed to be a primitive atmospheric research station was actually a testing ground for weapons specifically designed to target their weaknesses. Dr. Amara Okonjo supervised the facility, maintaining the facade of studying Earth's climate while her teams refined technologies that would make the Council's most advanced defensive systems obsolete. They're so confident in their superiority that they don't even consider basic security protocols, Okonjo reported during a secure conference with Harrison. Today, one of their engineers casually mentioned a fundamental flaw in their shield harmonics while explaining what he thought was an advanced concept to us. Harrison's global network was expanding exponentially. Every piece of humanitarian aid the Council provided was immediately transferred to hidden facilities for analysis. Every technological demonstration became an opportunity to probe for weaknesses. Every diplomatic meeting revealed more about their psychology and social structure. The Council's arrogance was their greatest vulnerability. They had encountered so many genuinely primitive civilizations that they never questioned their assumptions about humanity. When their sensors detected unusual energy signatures, they attributed them to natural phenomena. When human scientists grasped complex concepts surprisingly quickly, they praised their teaching methods rather than questioning their students' capabilities. The Council has approved the next phase of technological sharing, Professor Coffey announced during a priority briefing. His avatar showed signs of excitement as he continued, they're planning to demonstrate their basic defense systems. Perfect timing, Harrison responded. Our analysis of their biological and technological systems is nearly complete. How are the countermeasure tests proceeding? Better than expected, Dr. Sharma interjected. The quantum disruptors we developed based on their cellular structure are showing a 99.8% effectiveness rate. If they ever tried to use their weapons against Earth, they'd find their own technology turned against them before they could fire a single shot. But the greatest success of humanity's deception wasn't in the technology they developed or the weaknesses they discovered. It was in convincing the Council that Earth was eager to join their civilization while maintaining complete independence in practice. When Council representatives suggested installing their communication systems in major cities, humanity agreed enthusiastically, then routed every transmission through quantum filters that extracted more information than the Council intended to share. When they offered to upgrade Earth's defensive capabilities, human leaders expressed grateful acceptance while ensuring every upgrade revealed more about Council military doctrine. The deception extended to every level of interaction. Council cultural advisors were welcomed into universities, never realizing their students were conducting deep psychological analysis of their species. Medical teams shared what they considered basic treatments, unaware that human scientists were mapping their entire biological framework. In orbit, Council ships maintained their protective watch over Earth, never detecting the advanced defense grid hidden beneath layers of quantum camouflage. In diplomatic functions, they accepted humanity's carefully crafted image of technological inferiority, never suspecting that their hosts had already surpassed them in critical areas of research. Phase 2 is nearly complete, Harrison announced to her global command team. Our understanding of their technology now exceeds their own in several key areas. More importantly, they still have no idea of our true capabilities. But even the most carefully maintained deception couldn't last forever. As humanity's knowledge of Council technology grew, maintaining the appearance of technological inferiority became increasingly challenging. Small inconsistencies began to appear, a researcher using terminology they shouldn't know, energy signatures that couldn't be explained away, advancements that seemed too quick even for eager students. The Council's first suspicions were beginning to form, though they didn't recognize them as such yet. In their regular reports, words like remarkable progress and exceptional learning capacity began to appear more frequently. They were still far from discovering the truth, but the seeds of doubt had been planted. As the first year of contact drew to a close, humanity stood at a crossroads. The question was no longer whether their deception would be discovered, but when and how they would choose to reveal their true nature to the galaxy. The first significant crack in humanity's carefully constructed facade appeared during what should have been a routine technology demonstration at the Lagos Space Research Center. Senior Council Technology Advisor Ven X was explaining the principles of quantum communication when they noticed something unusual in the human facility's power signatures. These energy readings, Ven X interrupted their own lecture, crystalline form shifting to a deeper shade of blue that indicated confusion. They don't match your facility's supposed capabilities. Dr. Folami Adelik, the facility's director, maintained her composed expression even as encrypted alerts raced across Earth's hidden quantum network. Our power systems have been somewhat unstable lately, she offered with carefully calculated embarrassment. We're still learning to maintain consistent output. But Ven X was already accessing their advanced scanning equipment, probing deeper into the facility's energy patterns. The readings made no sense, occasional spikes of power that shouldn't be possible with Earth's declared level of technology, harmonic frequencies that suggested far more sophisticated systems than humans were supposed to possess. In her Himalayan command center, Director Harrison received the alert immediately. Status report, she demanded, her calm voice belying the tension in the room. The Council's scanning systems detected quantum fluctuations from our communication array in Lagos, Professor Coffey reported, his avatar showing signs of concern. Dr. Adelik is maintaining cover, but their chief technology advisor is asking questions we can't easily deflect. Implement Protocol Omega-7, Harrison ordered after a moment's consideration. It's time to begin laying the groundwork for selective disclosure. Across Earth's hidden network, carefully prepared contingency plans sprang into action. In research facilities worldwide, certain technologies were subtly allowed to become visible, nothing that would reveal humanity's true capabilities, but enough to begin explaining away the inconsistencies the Council was starting to notice. At the Mariana Trench facility, Dr. Sharma's team accelerated their analysis of Council psychology. Their species has a remarkable capacity for self-deception, she reported. If we can provide them with a plausible explanation for our advancement that fits their preconceptions, they'll likely accept it rather than confront the more disturbing truth. The Council's suspicions, however, had been awakened. More of their observers began noting unusual patterns in human development. Technologies that should have taken decades to grasp were being implemented within months. Theoretical concepts were being understood and applied at rates that defied their historical models of species advancement. Ambassador Xylix, once confident in their assessment of human capabilities, began compiling a troubling report for the Galactic Council. Species showing unprecedented rate of technological absorption, they wrote. Traditional development models may require revision. In orbit, Council ships detected increasing anomalies in Earth's energy signature. What they had dismissed as natural phenomena now seemed to follow patterns that suggested artificial origin. Their most sophisticated scanning systems began detecting traces of quantum fields that shouldn't exist in what they had categorized as a pre-quantum civilization. During a high-security briefing, Harrison addressed the growing crisis. The Council's suspicion was inevitable, she acknowledged to her global command team. But we've prepared for this moment. Every irregularity they detect has been carefully calculated to lead them toward conclusions we've prepared. Professor Coffey's analysis supported this strategy. Their scans are detecting exactly what we want them to find, evidence of rapid advancement that can be attributed to their own influence. They're beginning to believe they've discovered an exceptionally gifted student species, rather than one that has already surpassed them. But maintaining this delicate balance became increasingly challenging. Each interaction with Council representatives required more careful choreography. Every technological demonstration had to be precisely calibrated to reveal enough to satisfy their growing curiosity while concealing humanity's true capabilities. In Geneva, during a diplomatic conference, Council Security Chief RAC-7 expressed their concerns directly to Earth's representatives. Your species' rate of advancement is unprecedented in galactic history, they stated, their crystalline form pulsing with suspicious frequencies. We require a full audit of all technological developments since first contact. The human diplomatic team, led by Ambassador Diana Patel, responded with carefully practiced transparency. We welcome any investigation, she assured them, knowing that every facility the Council would inspect had been prepared with layers of deception that would withstand their most thorough examination. But beneath the surface of diplomatic cooperation, humanity's hidden preparations continued to accelerate. In quantum-shielded facilities across the globe and throughout the solar system, weapons were refined, defenses were strengthened, and contingency plans were updated. The Council's growing awareness works to our advantage, Dr. Sharma noted during a secure briefing. Their focus on our apparent rapid development blinds them to our true capabilities. They're so busy trying to understand how we're learning their technology so quickly that they never question whether we needed to learn it at all. As the tension mounted, Harrison knew they were approaching a critical juncture. The Council's suspicions could no longer be completely deflected. Soon, humanity would need to reveal some measure of their true nature to the galaxy. The question was no longer whether to show their hand, but how much to reveal, and when. The calculated revelation of humanity's true nature began not with a dramatic announcement or a military display, but with a simple malfunction at the Antarctic Research Station. At least, that's what the Council believed it to be. The facility's quantum containment field accidentally fluctuated during a routine inspection by Council scientists, revealing energy signatures that defied their understanding of human technological progress. The observers' crystalline forms shifted through patterns of shock and disbelief as their instruments detected power levels that shouldn't be possible for centuries according to their development models. Director Harrison watched the events unfold through secure feeds in her Himalayan command center. Initial reactions, she asked, her voice steady despite the historic nature of the moment. Exactly as predicted, Dr. Sharma reported from her deep-sea facility. Their psychological responses show a mix of denial and growing alarm. They're desperately trying to rationalize what they're seeing within their existing framework of human capabilities. In Antarctica, Research Director Thomas Mbeki played his role perfectly, appearing appropriately distressed by the containment field's malfunction. His team scrambled to shut down systems that were, in fact, operating exactly as intended, while Council observers recorded energy signatures that would send shockwaves through the galactic community. Ambassador Xylix received the preliminary reports with growing horror. Impossible, they transmitted to the Galactic Council, their message marked with highest priority encryption. The humans have somehow developed quantum manipulation technologies that exceed our theoretical models. We require immediate consultation with the Council's Science Directory. But before the council could formulate a response, more accidents began occurring at research facilities worldwide. In the Sahara, gravitational sensors detected massive underground energy signatures. Beneath the Pacific, council ships recorded quantum fluctuations that suggested technological advancement far beyond what humanity had revealed. They're accessing their deep space communications network, Professor Coffey reported, monitoring the council's encrypted transmissions. Emergency protocols are being initiated across their fleet. Harrison nodded, everything proceeding according to the carefully orchestrated plan. Implement Phase 4, she ordered. It's time to show them exactly enough to make them understand their mistake, but not enough to reveal our full capabilities. Across Earth, carefully hidden systems began powering up, each revealing just enough of their true nature to shatter the Council's preconceptions while maintaining crucial advantages in reserve. In orbit, quantum shields flickered briefly into visibility before disappearing again, leaving Council ship sensors scrambling to understand what they detected. The Council's reaction was swift but confused. Ships moved into defensive positions around Earth, their weapons powered but not targeted, a show of force tempered by uncertainty. They no longer knew if their weapons would even be effective against a civilization that had hidden its true nature so effectively. Ambassador Xylix requested an emergency meeting with Earth's leadership, their crystalline form pulsing with frequencies that indicated extreme agitation. How long, they demanded when faced with Earth's diplomatic team. How long have you concealed your true capabilities? Ambassador Patel's response was calculated to heighten their uncertainty. We have never concealed anything that wasn't necessary for the security of our species, she stated calmly. You assumed we were primitive because we chose not to correct that assumption. The question you should be asking is why we're choosing to reveal ourselves now. In hidden facilities across the planet, humanity's true technological marvels stood ready, quantum weapons that could disable Council ships with a thought, biological countermeasures that could neutralize any attempt at warfare, and defensive systems that had been mapping Council weaknesses since first contact. Their fleet is mobilizing, Professor Coffey reported, tracking movement across the solar system. But they're maintaining defensive positions only. Their tactical doctrine is breaking down, they have no protocols for dealing with a situation like this. Harrison watched the Council's confusion with grim satisfaction. They're realizing that every interaction, every technological demonstration, every piece of data they gathered about us was part of a calculated plan. Their entire understanding of human civilization was based on what we wanted them to see. The revelation sent shockwaves through galactic society. The Council's reports to their homeworld painted a picture that threatened to upend millennia of assumed superiority. A species they had intended to guide and mentor had instead studied them, analyzed their weaknesses, and developed countermeasures to their most advanced technologies, all while maintaining a perfect facade of primitive development. Their options are limited, Dr. Sharma analyzed, reviewing the Council's psychological responses. They can't attack without knowing our full capabilities, can't withdraw without losing face, and can't continue treating us as a primitive species. They're trapped by their own assumptions and prejudices. As the Earth's sun set on this historic day, humanity's position in the galaxy had fundamentally changed. The Council's representatives huddled in their ships, frantically trying to understand how they had misread a civilization so completely. Their carefully maintained hierarchy of species advancement lay in shambles, destroyed not by warfare or technological superiority, but by humanity's patient, calculated revelation of their true nature. The weeks following humanity's calculated revelation transformed galactic politics more profoundly than any event in the past 1,000 years. The Council's emergency sessions stretched for days as they grappled with the implications of a civilization that had effectively infiltrated their society while appearing to be technological novices. In the Himalayan Command Center, Director Harrison reviewed the latest intelligence from their quantum monitoring network. The Council's response had followed their predictive models almost exactly, initial panic giving way to cautious diplomatic overtures as they realized the full implications of humanity's deception. They've scheduled an emergency conference on their capital world, Ambassador Patel reported during a secure briefing. Her hologram showed the subtle signs of satisfaction that came with a perfectly executed strategy. Every major species in the galaxy will be represented. They're desperate to understand how we managed to hide in plain sight for so long. Professor Coffey's analysis team had been working around the clock, monitoring the Council's internal communications. Their entire society is in upheaval, he reported. The basic assumption of technological superiority that underpinned their civilization has been shattered. They're questioning every other species they've guided over the millennia, wondering if they've made the same mistake again. But the true masterpiece of humanity's strategy was only now becoming apparent. By revealing their capabilities gradually and maintaining crucial secrets, they had created a situation where the Council couldn't be certain of humanity's full potential. Every demonstration of advanced technology left them wondering what else remained hidden. Their latest diplomatic message is practically pleading, Dr. Sharma noted, her avatar displaying the intercepted transmission. They're offering full membership in the Council, equal voting rights, access to all their technological databases, everything they think might entice us to reveal our full capabilities. Harrison allowed herself a small smile. And in doing so, they've given us exactly what we wanted from the beginning, recognition as equals without having to reveal our full strength. The Council's diplomatic corps worked frantically to establish new protocols for dealing with Earth. Their entire system of technological classification had to be rewritten. The concept of primitive species was being re-evaluated across the galaxy, as other civilizations began to question whether they too had underestimated potential rivals. In orbit, Council ships maintained their positions, but their posture had changed. What had once been a protective guard over a developing world now looked more like a nervous watch over an unpredictable power. Their sensors constantly scanned for signs of human technology, finding only what humanity chose to let them see. The latest reports from their fleet show them detecting quantum signatures that weren't there last week, Professor Coffey reported during a strategy session. They don't realize we're deliberately revealing new capabilities at a calculated pace, maintaining their uncertainty while gradually establishing our position. The human diplomatic team, led by Ambassador Patel, began negotiations for Earth's new role in galactic society. Every meeting was a careful dance of revelation and restraint. Humanity demonstrated enough advancement to demand respect while always hinting at greater capabilities held in reserve. Their latest proposal is interesting, Harrison noted, reviewing the Council's offer. They want to establish a joint research initiative, supposedly to share technological advancement. In reality, they're hoping to finally understand the full scope of our capabilities. Dr. Sharma's psychological analysis supported their strategy. The Council's species are fundamentally hierarchical in their thinking. By maintaining uncertainty about our true level of advancement, we keep them off balance. They can't place us properly in their hierarchy, which forces them to treat us with maximum caution and respect. As Earth's position in galactic society solidified, humanity's influence began to extend beyond mere technological concerns. Other species, particularly those under Council guidance, began seeking quiet diplomatic channels to Earth. The possibility that other civilizations might have hidden capabilities sent shockwaves through the galactic political system. We've received unofficial communications from 12 different species in the past week, Ambassador Patel reported. All of them wanting to know how we maintained our deception, all of them wondering if they too could resist Council oversight. The Council found itself in an impossible position. They couldn't treat Earth as a subordinate power, couldn't risk hostile action, and couldn't be certain they understood humanity's true capabilities. Their only option was to accept a new reality where their assumed technological superiority no longer guaranteed their political dominance. The galaxy's balance of power has shifted, Harrison observed during the final strategic briefing of the crisis period. Not through warfare or overt conflict, but through patience, preparation, and the careful management of information. We've achieved our goal, respect and independence without revealing our full strength. As the dust settled on this new galactic order, humanity had established itself as a power that could not be ignored or easily categorized. The Council's assumptions about technological development and species advancement had been permanently shattered, replaced by a new uncertainty that would shape galactic politics for centuries to come. The greatest triumph wasn't in the technology humanity had developed or the deception they had maintained. It was in creating a situation where their potential power was more effective than any actual demonstration of force. In the end, humanity had achieved something remarkable. They had made the galaxy's most advanced civilization fear not what they knew about humans, but what they didn't know.